All right. Guess who's back? Back again. All right, listen. Get me. I'm back for another episode. I know it's been a long while, but you know what? All good things come to those who wait. All right. So, and I'm sure you see the title of this episode, and the episode we're gonna dive straight into this episode. All right. So if you see me look down, don't worry, I got notes. Yeah, I have notes. So as you can tell, this is a solo episode again. So if you want to be a guest, contact and let's make that happen. Yeah. But anyway, so obviously the title of the episode is what are the responsibilities of an exec or of an executive? All right. So yeah, let's just get into this real quick. So as you know, as I always do, um, the fact obviously this is the Igbo Kwenu Podcast. Make sure you like, follow, or like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Want to see this get over 1,000 views? Yeah, on Spotify as well, 1,000 listens. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, man, let's get into it. As you know, I like to do my you know obviously I like to play that game. See, it's been a while. Like trying to remember what the name of the game is called. But obviously, so obviously I like to play that game. Um, yeah, the color nut game. So let's get into it. So as you know, because of the exec, to do with exec, um, we're gonna get into that little, not even little, it's a big deal actually. So anyway, so network director or assistant network director. Leave that you can play along if you want to in the comment section below. Yeah. What would you pick? Yeah. See, me, I would say network director. Do you know why? Because head honcho and that, you know what I'm saying? Head honcho and that. But we're gonna get into the definitions of these roles and this, that, and the third later on in this episode. For now, we're just playing this game, all right? So finance executive or business executive. I would say finance executive. Do you know why? Because with the finance exec, what that means is, like I said, we're gonna dive deep into the episode, dive deep into these roles. But like as a finance exec, that is a high responsibility. I know I said network director is the head honcho, nice, but the finance director. Listen, anyway, all right. Now, admin exec or Kwenu exec. Well, you're tuning into the Igbo Kwenu podcast, and I am therefore the Kwenu exec, right? So obviously, I'm gonna choose the Kwenu exec, obviously. But you know what I mean? Like, shout out to the admin exec as well, because the admin with the admin role, it's another big responsibility. Every responsibility is I'm sorry, every role is a big responsibility, a big role. Yeah, everyone plays their part. All right, every single one plays their part. All right, so obviously I chose the Quenu exec, and the main reason why I chose the Quenu exec in general is because of the fact that one, I used to have a podcast myself as well, and had that for like during lockdown era, or whatever. And then the other reason why is because I was also had the radio show like years ago with Represent Radio in conjunction with Trace FM. If you remember Trace FM, yeah, me. Trace FM, you know. I listen, bring back memories. Um, but yeah, so that was with Trace FM, and then even though it's with Trace FM, it's obviously Represent Radio. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you don't, is what it is. No big deal. Um, so yeah, I just thought I could bring my skills and my knowledge and my know-how to this role, and I also felt that the Quenu exec role needed a what's the word I could use? I don't want to. I just wanted to bring it into the forefront in terms of where we are at now in society. You get it? Most people are tuning into podcasts. It is what it is. You know what I mean? There's millions of podcasts about millions. So I get it. You know what I mean? Even myself, I listen to different type of podcasts. So, but anyway, moving on. So we have social exec or cultural exec. Um, that's a tough one. The only role I've ever been is the Kwenu exec. So me choosing is just I'm just playing the game, and obviously um you can choose in your comment section below what you pick. Yeah, obviously it's not a thing of there's no right or wrong answer either way. There's no right or wrong answer. All right. So anyway, um, so let's get into it again. So yeah, social exec or cultural exec. Probably culture exec because it means that as a culture exec, you're in that position where. But then again, social exec. I, all right, so culture exec, you're in that position where you're curating um events around the culture. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, social exec is just another. Then again, I should have did it. So yeah, I'll say cultural exec. You know what I'm saying? Um, website exec or welfare exec. Now, once upon a time, when I used to do music, I had to do my own music website as well, and so I was gonna say I would say website exec just based on that, but then at the same time, being a website exec, you got to make sure that everything is up to date. You got to make sure that the website is like something that is clickable that people would want to go to watch, or not watch, but like the when you go to a website and you're just on it, you see what I'm saying? You're on that website. Think about it. You're on that website, but you don't know why you're on that website. Or you go on that website for a reason. So let's say you put it in a Google search engine or um, Bing or whatever you use, Ask Jeeves. You're in a position where you say, all right, look, let's put it this way. This is what I searched for. This is the website that came up. And then you end up going through I forgot what the word is. You go into a spiral of thinking, like, okay, this is interesting, this is interesting, this is interesting. You get tangled into a web, pun intended. Get me? Website. Get me? For your site. Anyway, so shout out to all the roles. Get me? All the roles. All the roles. So, anyway, let's just get into the main gist of this episode. But anyway, if you want to become an ICSN member and you're either in Manchester or in London, remember you can go to the link in the description box below and you can become a member. There's many benefits of becoming a member because when there are events, guess what? You get a discount. If you're not a member, you don't get a discount. The choice is yours, really. I mean, the cost of living crisis that we're living in, I'm sure you want to save money, right? All right. But anyway, anyway. All right. So what is an exec? So to break down the general responsibilities of an executive, such as strategic planning, decision making, team leadership, communication, financial stewardship, and organizational representation. All right. Now, the relevance to this to ICSN to Igbo Cultural Support Network is when it comes to certain roles, you have to play your part, and I know it sounds like it's a heavy responsibility, but it's not really much of a heavy responsibility if you know the skills and the experiences that you have. This is why I waited to make sure that I've got the time, maybe I've got the knowledge and all that stuff there. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes you may want to do something, yeah, and you feel like, nah, I'm not ready. Nah, I'm not ready. Or sometimes you may feel like, you're ready, but then the moment it comes, oh wait, you wasn't ready. Do you get it? It's like, for example, all right, listen, I know I'm gonna do a football analogy, so bear with me. But it's like with football, for example, there's you can have a wonder kid, yeah, like you can have a wonder kid. They could be like 17 years old, yeah. And the thing is, and I know he's not Igbo, but I'm gonna mention his name anyway. Lamine Yamal, right? In fact, you know what? I could use this as an example. Now I can actually use them. All right, so obviously Lamine Yamal is obviously not Igbo. Well, he plays represents Spain, but whatever. Like he technically, by all means, is a wonder kid. Like, but he's definitely shown that he's ready. He's ready to play on the big stage. Get me? He's ready. He's been doing bits. Yeah, he's been doing bits in the main squad for club and country. All right. Now, and so much so that now he's the youngest player of the year. Yeah, Ballon d'Or vibes. But also, um, so now let's read it back like years before. John Obi Mikel. He was also technically a wonder kid. Do you know what I mean? Because don't get it twisted. When it was Nigeria versus Argentina in the under 20s, it was Mikel versus Messi. And Mikel came out on top. Don't get that twisted. If you know, you know. But for club though, what happened was he wasn't ready for the big stage. You get it? Now, he's got an episode. Now, this is why I hope one day John Obi Mikel uh, becomes a guest on this podcast. But he on his own podcast, he had his mentor. Do you see what I mean? His mentor on, and the interesting thing about that is just realizing how the way he's talking about how he learned from Claude Makelele. Do you understand? So it got him to the point where he ended up becoming ready, and by the time he was fully ready, do you know what I mean? He was playing on a regular basis. That's when Claude Makelele was phasing out, and that's how he become more regular. But at the same, the point I'm trying to make is he became regular, and he was always excelling, always. Like he was the cleanup man, basically in midfield, the cleanup man. Like if you know, you know. That's enough football analogy, but I hope you understand what I mean. All right. So where was I? Where was I? So so I'm gonna talk about each particular role, right? So because being part of the next team, do you know what's interesting? This is the first. Okay, I might be wrong, but I think the first time in. I don't want to get this wrong, but it's usually the exec team is supposed to be a big team. So in order for an organization in general to do well and to succeed, they need to be able to have everyone doing their role, and not just the exec team. Everyone above the exec team as well. Everybody needs to be doing their role. Yeah, everybody, every single person. Yeah, and I get it. Yeah, the exec team, yes, is a voluntary role. Like I understand it, but you still have to play your part and to the best of your abilities. So this is why I'm going to lay down information in regards to, you know, what these roles entail and stuff of that nature. So you can make the choice of being like, I'll be this role. Don't be afraid to go up for a role either. Like, don't be afraid to go up for a role. Like, I know it's scary at times. If you want to make your presentation, and because even when I went up, I didn't. The funny thing is, yeah, when I went, I didn't go with the intention of actually want to raise my hand to be like, I want to be an exec. I never did it like that. You see what I'm saying? It just so happened I went. Because I swear, even before then, I hadn't gone for a few months. And so it's just interesting how did I can't remember. Like time flies so much. But either way, I went not with the intention of me being an exec, and I thought, well, hang on, you know what I mean? Like, let me at least play my role and stuff like that because you know what I mean. It's just interesting how life is. So anyway, look, I'm gonna read out the summary of this. Um, so the success of ICSN is attributed to the dedication and commitment of its volunteers who have been given a mandate by the members to lead and drive the organization towards achieving its objectives. These roles are voluntary, and the team members' time and effort are deeply appreciated. It is crucial to work as a team to minimize conflict and focus on achieving shared goals. I had to read that because I need you to understand there's levels to this, yeah? All right. Anyway, so I might not go into every single detail, but I want to go into these roles so you understand, okay, maybe this is for me, maybe this isn't for me. Just know what role for you to pick. Again, um, don't be afraid to go out for a role if you know that you're good for it. Remember, we got to make sure that 2025 is even better than 2024. You know what I mean? Even that is what it is. You know what I mean? No hard feelings. If it's, you know what I mean? No hard feelings if someone else goes up for the Kwenu exec role and they go on to do better than me. You know what I mean? Like no hard feelings. You know what I mean? This is for everyone. Anyway, so the role, the responsibilities of a network director. All right. So like I said, I'm gonna read this briefly. All right. So lead the role is to lead the executive team and the organization as a whole to achieve its goals and objectives. All right. To achieve its objectives. That's fundamental. All right. So also it's to establish a strategic direction for their tenure. The tenure is usually a year, and oversee the implementation of ICSN strategic plan. Also, build and maintain relationships with key stakeholders, including members, sponsors, partners, and other organizations. Like I said, head on show vibes in that. So that's what's going to come with it. There's obviously more things to it, but I'm only giving like, you know what I mean? Also, the role is to support and to motivate the executive team, ensure that oversee the development and the execution of program events and other initiatives to support the organization's mission and vision. Mission, vision. I like that word, that type of wording. Anyway, so let's think about the day-to-day activities, yeah? Day-to-day activities, meeting with executive team members and other stakeholders to discuss the organization's activities, plans, and challenges. Yes, there will be challenges, but through challenges, it helps you grow. Do you understand it? The challenges help you grow. I can't even lie. So, also reviewing financial reports and budgets to ensure that the organization is operating within its financial guidelines. Yeah. So as much as there's the financial director, there's also the head honcho is operating, overseeing, make sure the finance director does their role. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so reviewing okay, I read that. So responding to inquiries from members, stakeholders, and the public, participating in meetings with sponsors, partners, and other organizations, collaborating with other organizations to advance the organization's mission and vision. Like I said, I like that word in there. So that's pretty much the that's pretty much the network director. So if you want to be a network director, go ahead. Get me? Don't be afraid to go for that role. Don't be afraid to put forth your presentation, I think it's always best when you have an actual presentation. I can't even lie. It's like it's like an election. You know what I'm saying? Where everyone's trying to gain your vote. Get me? And then you have your trump card. I'm joking. Trump, but I need to stop doing this. Trump card, joking, joke on the back. But I know you ace it. Anyway, let me stop doing that. Now all jokes aside, like nah, if you do feel that you do have the skills and you do have the know-how, or you even want to learn on the job, then do it. You know what I mean? Obviously, it doesn't mean that you're gonna fail if you don't have the skills, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the know-how. But if you present in a way where people support you and you end up becoming the network director, then hey, here's what it is, isn't it? And then if you do end up doing well, you could be doing some legendary stuff and you could be seen as a legend. You know what I'm saying? Um, so don't be afraid to compose your presentation if you want to be a network director. Now, as for the assistant network director, the assistant network director is in a second in command to the network director and works closely with them to ensure the can I speak, the smooth running of the organization. They provide support to the network director in executing the mission, vision, and objectives of ICSN. You know why I can't even talk properly right now? It's because I want to be singing "Smooth Operator." Smooth operator. Get me? You know, you know. Um. Anyway, so the responsibilities of an assistant network director is obviously, like I said, support the network director in the day-to-day activities and act as their representation in their absence. So technically, you're the head honcho too. You know what I'm saying? If you notice in every organization that is successful, there's always like the head honcho and then the second in command. Just like um, I'm not gonna mention the names here. It's okay because they're not Igbo anyway, but they're from a different country anyway. But the point I'm trying to make is, in fact, actually, you know what? Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Bear with me for a moment. I should have done this. Um, hold on. Let's see. I wanna all right, so basically, yeah, what I wanna do. All right, so I was gonna use some another country, but I thought, you know what? We're Nigerian. They have one too. Anyway, so you had the president, then you had the vice president. The vice president is in second of command to the president. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Now, obviously, I know, yeah, um, we don't even want to talk about politics and and stuff like that. But the point I'm trying to make is, um, in general, that is what how it goes. Do you know what I mean? You got the president and you got the vice president. And look, there's anyway. Maybe that might be another subject for another day. Talking about the structure, yeah, talking about the structure. Do you know what I mean? Of the politics in Nigeria, because anyway, let me just mute this for a second. All right, so anyway, let's get back into the roles and responsibilities of the network assistant director, assistant network director. All right, so boom. Anyway, work with the finance executive to develop budget and monitor expenditure to ensure that the organization is operating within its means. Again, just like the finance director, but also like the head honcho. You see what I'm trying to say? Anyway, So also collaborate with the social exec, culture exec, and business exec to plan and execute events and activities to promote the goals and objectives of ICSN. Do you know what I forgot to do with um, one of the things? I forgot to do PR exec or marketing director. I forgot to do that as well. Um, I'll say PR exec. You know what I mean? Anyway. Excuse me. All right, so edit. All right, so also the aim is to collaborate the social executive, social execs, culture exec, business exec, and to plan and exec. Okay, so I read that. So my bad. So also to work with the PR exec, blogger and news writer, which is obviously the Kwenu exec, and also the website exec to ensure that the organization message is effectively communicated to the members and the wider public, which is very, very, very fundamental. Do you know what I recommend as well, right? This is why I'm glad I'm actually doing this particular episode because now you're getting a gist of the roles and you're understanding, okay, if I'm doing this particular role, I know that their role is supposed to help me with my role, or my role is to help them with their role. Do you get it? Like we're all like conjoined twins and that. You know what I'm saying? But I say conjoined twins. All that's not the right terminology I want to use, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Um. So also, so day-to-day activities. Okay, no, one more thing. So I also want to mention continuously evaluate the effectiveness of ICSN's activities and programs and suggest improvements as necessary. This is how we grow. Do you get it? This is how we grow. Anyway, we're nearly half an hour in and we've got to go through other roles. So I'm going to try and speed through and not do too much because I keep on cracking joke here and there. Anyway, where was I? So, all right. So, day-to-day activities may include meeting with the network director to discuss the organization's activities and providing updates on progress. Also, supervising the activities of other executives and providing guidance and support as needed. I don't think necessarily like supervising, but I do see in a sense of like supporting other execs in their roles, making sure that they are able to use. You know what I mean? Like I don't explain it. It's like the welfare exec, but not like the welfare exec. If that makes any sense. Um. So also it's like nothing is they will be developing and reviewing budgets and financial reports and participating in planning and in execution of events and activities like we more or less mentioned. Now, here is the role for the finance executive. The finance executive of ISSN is responsible for managing managing the organization's financial resources and ensuring that its financial practices are in line with the legal and regulatory requirements. Some of the roles and responsibilities of the finance executive may include budget, planning, and management. The finance exec is responsible for developing and managing the organization's annual budget. They should work closely with other members of the exec team to ensure that the budget aligns with the organization goals and priorities. I'll give you one prime example as well, right? When starting this podcast, I had to make sure I spoke with the finance director, stroke, um, assistant network director. Um, so basically, I had to come up with a plan and come up with a plan of why it's needed, how much it will cost, you see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, now I can be like, okay, well, not now, but let's say if you are going to be a Kwenu exec, right? And let's say you need to speak to the not even let's say you will need to still speak to the finance director. You still need to, right? Because in order for this particular role, like the Kwenu exec role and the podcast itself to grow, it needs financial investment. That's just the plain fact. Because there was talks of other things. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I would just say this. At the end of the day, finance, what's the word I want to look for? When you invest in something, like whether it's financially or anything, in general, when you invest, you reap what you invest. That's just in general, right? But when it comes to finance, it's figuring out, okay, how can we how are we going to make money from this, basically? That's it. Like, I know it sounds blunt, yeah, but like, how are we going to make money from this to help support ICSN? It's one thing giving that, sending the message, cool, whatever, but how are we going to, you know what I mean? So we can maintain and grow at the same time. How? How, Sway? You ain't got the answer. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, but you get it. Like, end of the day, that's how it goes, isn't it? You have to be brutally honest. That's why I started out the way that I started out, and I feel like the next person who's coming after me doing the Kwenu exec, I would like them to progress with the podcast because I do think this is a great avenue, and I do feel like I said, once you have enough investment into it, listen, I'm telling you, it can go, it can and will go places. I'm telling you, because I feel like had we started the podcast like a few years ago, like we would have certain level of guests. You know what I mean? We probably would have flavor. Get me? We would have who else would have? Maybe KC. You know what I mean? We'll have like whoever you want, name it. But numbers matter. Numbers matter. Numbers matter. But anyway, I digress. That's what I'm saying. Like, get the views up. 1,000 views minimum. 1,000 plays minimum. That should just be the bare minimum in the first day. In fact, in the first hour. In fact, in the first minute. Anyway, so let's continue. Let's continue because we're 33 minutes in. So where we are. So the financial reporting. The finance exec should be responsible for producing timely and accurate financial reports to keep the executive team and members of the organization informed about the financial health of the organization. This may include generating balance sheets and income statements and cash flow statements. So that's more or less it in a nutshell, right? Day-to-day activities of the finance exec may include reviewing financial reports and processing, yeah, processing payments and invoices, managing the organization's bank accounts, preparing and delivering financial presentations to the executive team and members, and liaising with external auditors and accountants. Because at the end of the day, we need to be at a plus. We need to be at a profit. We cannot be operating from a loss. Do you get it? That's just plain facts. Because yes, we are an organization that is more or less like a what do you call it, like a non-profit organization, but a non-profit organization also needs to be benefiting financially to be able to grow the organization and be able to get the message out there. You know what I mean? Because look, we're here, there, everywhere. You get me? That's what I said. That's why I said, make sure you, if you're in London and you're Igbo, become a member of ICSN. If you're in Manchester and you're able, become a member of ICSN. We are everywhere. Don't be surprised if there's a ICS. Don't be surprised if there's an ICSN in Scunthorpe. Don't be surprised. And I know you're thinking Scunthorpe. Yeah, me. In fact, hang on, hang on, hang on for a minute. I've got an idea. Hang on, hang on. I know time is pushing, yeah. Oh, he actually is. Wow. Numbers matter. You see, I thought, do you know, because Scunthorpe, pass out, tiny temper, if you know, you know. I just realized the type he's name in is actually Igbo as well. That's interesting. I've got newfound respect for him now. I can't even lie. Anyway, um, so yeah, social exec now. The social exec of ICSN is responsible for planning, organizing, and executing all social activities and events for the organization. The role involves creating opportunities for members to network and socialize in a fun and engaging environment. Some of the key responsibilities of the social exec include planning and organizing social events. The social exec is responsible for planning and organizing social events that will appeal to members of the organization. This includes events such as parties, dinners, cultural events, and other social activities. This is why I'm trying to say social exec and cultural exec are kind of similar, but not in a way. You know what I mean? Also, coordinating events, logistics. The social exec is responsible for coordinating the logistics of events, including venue selection, catering, transportation, and other necessary arrangements. Um, Event budgets. The social exec should work closely with the finance exec to establish a budget of each event. Do you see what I mean? So, yes, teamwork makes the dream work, essentially. Yeah, that's another role connected to the finance director or the finance exec. Every role matters. Every role matters. All right. So day-to-day activities include attending planning meetings with other execs, communicating with members about and upcoming events, coordinating events, logistics, and managing event budgets. This social exec may also be responsible for sourcing vendors and negotiating contracts with event suppliers. Additionally, the social exec may need to work with the PR exec to promote events through social media and other marketing channels. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Every role matters. And I'm going to throw in Kwenu exec. You know why? Because that's also part of PR when you think about it. Because I'm able, like, I say I, but if you're a Kwenu exec and there's an event coming up, you can mention it in the podcast. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's just a simple, you know what I'm saying? Um, But yeah, in terms of the event, make sure that you know what they actually want for more people to keep coming and coming. You know what I'm saying? All right. So now next is the admin role, the admin exec. The admin exec is responsible for ensuring the smooth running of the organization by managing admin tasks, providing support to other members of the exec, and maintaining accurate records. This role is crucial in maintaining the organization operation and ensuring that all administrative tasks are completed efficiently and effectively. They play a key role in facilitating events and ensuring compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. Overall, the admin role is essential to the effective functioning of the organization. So basically, your role is vital if you are a social exec because you got to socialize. All right. And it's funny because at the end of the day, right? As the admin, I remember at one point I wanted to be the admin. I can't even lie. Then I realized when I was hearing about the roles, this is why it's important to hear about the roles. I thought, wait, knowing me, it's better for me to be a Kwenu exec. That sounds more like up my street, Rav. You know what I mean? That sounds more me. That sounds, and it is because look how I am right now. I'm just naturally the way I am. It's just the way I am. And even though yes, sometimes it may feel like he's a bit quiet. You know what I'm saying? That's because I reserve myself so I can be doing things like this. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So responsibilities: oversee and manage administrative functions of the organization, maintain and update the organization's database, contact list, and mailing list, respond to inquiries from members and external stakeholders in a timely and professional manner. So it's just pretty much admin stuff, really. Like, but don't get it twisted. It is like a big responsibility. I know I said the network director is a head honcho, but the admin role is just as a big deal as the network director. Do you see what I'm trying to say? But anyway, so day-to-day activities, checking the emails, respond to inquiries from members and stakeholders, updating the organization database and contact list as needed, schedule meetings and events, and sending out invitation and reminders. So keep an accurate record of meeting minutes and maintaining the organization's file and archives. All right, let's move on to the next one real quick. So you got cultural exec. All right. Now with the culture exec, what I like about this role here, let me show you. So the culture executive is responsible for promoting and upholding all aspects of Igbo culture within ICSN. This includes organizing cultural events, maintaining cultural schools, and ensuring that members are engaged and connected to their cultural heritage. See, like I said, it's similar to the social executive role, but not really as similar. Do you get it? But like I said, I like this role mainly because of the fact of upholding all aspects of Igbo culture within ICSN. Anyway, so roles and responsibilities: promote and uphold, like we said already, but promote and uphold Igbo culture within ICSN and the wider community. Develop and maintain cultural schools within ICSN, including language, cooking, and dance schools. Ensure Igbo culture is a key part of all ICSN events. Yeah. Identify and recruit individuals who can contribute to the culture exec's goals and objectives. Collaborate with other cultural organizations to promote Igbo culture and build partnerships. All right. So day-to-day activities, communicate with members and volunteers to identify needs and opportunities related to Igbo culture. Source educational and historical material to help educate our members and followers on Igbo culture. Maintain and update cultural school, including curriculum development and teacher recruitment. Attend executive meetings, provide updates on culture exec activities and progress. By the way, any role you do, you pretty much have to attend meetings. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. It's okay to attend meetings. But yeah, all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you gotta realize that this is a big deal. This that it's one thing I will have to admit. The one thing I want to admit is, at the end of the day, this is for you as well. So just keep that in mind. It's for you as well. It's for you. Yes, you listening. It's for you. So don't make it seem like I don't explain it. Like that's why I like doing this Kwenu exec role, yeah, because it's like I know if it's someone like me, the best way for me to stay informed is that let me see a podcast, bruv. You know what I'm saying? And then if I'm it's like if I'm able to go to well, I do recommend going to JHM, then you go in it, you know what I'm saying? Even though I haven't been for a while, but there was a reason that there's a reason, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get back into this real quick. Where was we? All right, so we got that. So fitness exec. Uh, I'm not going to get to the day-to-day activity because time is kicking. Research potential funding and sponsorship opportunities, reaching out to potential sponsors and partnerships, establish relationships and secure funding, creating and excuse, excuse me, creating and managing fundraising campaigns. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Like I said, I'm breezing through this. But the role of the business exec is crucial for the financial stability and the growth of ICSN. They play a crucial key role in developing and implementing strategies to generate revenue and ensure the financial sustainability of the organization. They work closely with other members of the exec team to ensure that ICSN has the necessary resources to achieve its goals and objectives. The business exec also plays a say it with me, critical role in promoting ICSN um, events and initiatives to potential sponsors, donors, and partners. Uh, PR exec, all right? The PR exec is responsible for creating and executing a strategic communication plan for ICSN to enhance its visibility, and public perception. This individual should have strong communication and interpersonal skills, as well as a good understanding of branding and marketing principles. All right, so the men. So I'm just going to get into the day-to-day activities because it's yeah, me. So day-to-day activities may include monitoring and media coverage, creating social media posts, responding to media inquiries, creating marketing materials, and attending events, meetings, and working with other ICSN executives. Yeah. All right. So I know I'm disappearing like Casper the Ghost here, but allow me, man. Um, ICSN execs to ensure the communication of efforts are aligned with the organization's overall goals and objectives, creating on content for ICSN social media platforms. So that's pretty much that role. Um, where is it? Okay. All right, so we got 13 minutes left, bruv. All right, let's see. Where is we? All right, now we got the website exec. The website exec is responsible for ensuring that ICSN's website is up to date, visually appealing, user friendly. They work closely with other members of the exec team to ensure that the website is aligned with ICSN's goals and objectives. All right, so day to day activities, check in the website for any technical issues and fixing them as necessary. Creating new content on the website, including news updates and event listings. I think there also should be other things, but I'm not a website exec, so actually I shouldn't do that. If you think there's an idea that you have for the website and you're part of the exec team, let that information roll out to the exec team so they can find a way to either implement it or discard it. Because sometimes you can have an idea and be like, that's a great idea. Then afterward you realize that's a bad idea. You know what I mean? It's good to always discuss ideas because your idea could be a great idea in the end. You never know. And then you got designing and implementing change. Okay, no, forget that. Meeting with other members and executive discuss website changes and improvements. Like I said, analyzing website data, identify areas for improvement. All right, now the welfare exec. The welfare exec is responsible for ensuring the welfare of all ICSN members and created a sense of belonging within the community. In addition to the general responsibilities outlined below, the welfare exec should have strategies in place to make new visitors and members feel welcome and included. What just happened to my okay? All right, so day-to-day activities, regularly check in with the members to ensure that their well-being and offering support where necessary, coordinating with other members to provide support to members who are celebrating special events such as weddings, childbirth, and birthdays. Um, Communicating with designated safeguarding lead to ensure that all members, particularly children and vulnerable adults, are safe and protected. Organizing social events and activities that promote mental health and well-being, such as meditation sessions, exercise classes, or stress reduction workshops. Um, Regularly reporting to exec committee to status of the welfare program and any emerging issues or concerns. All right. Now we're on to the Kwenu exec role. Igbo Kwenu. All right. My turn. All right. So the Kwenu newsletter exec, scratch that. It's no longer newsletter. It's a podcast now. All right. It's a podcast. We're not reverting to the newsletters. Yeah. We are not reverting. We're not, what's the word? We're not progressing to digress. We're progressing to progress further. So we're going to continue on this podcast. Yeah. We are going to continue on this podcast. Listen to me. I know I'm sounding biased because Quenu exec's my role. However, hear me out. Just hear me out for a moment. You got to remember, right? When it comes to podcasts in general, most people listen or watch due to the fact that there's something they can relate to or something they want to relate to. And most of the time, there's a guest, right? And if we're able to get guests onto this podcast, that, get me, like, are like, let's say, like a mental flavor, or, you know what I mean? Like, if we could get anyone you can think of, you know what I mean? Tiny Temper, for example, like anyone you can think of. And then they can talk about their stories, their experiences, even if it's Yemi Holiday, if you know she's half Igbo, I get it because I'm half Igbo as well. But like, do you see what I'm gonna say? Like, at the end of the day, I'm trying to, or Skepta, even though it's half Igbo, but like, the point I'm trying to make is you have to think about this long term. Yeah. What are people of a certain generation listening to or watching? How are they going to gravitate towards? You know what I mean? We want, like, we got to keep it fresh. You know what I mean? We got to keep it fresh. Anyway, the primary objective is managing, and so the primary objective is to provide informative and engaging and relevant content that keeps members up to date with ICSN news, skills. Sorry, I got too ahead of myself. The primary objective is to provide informative, engaging, and relevant content that keeps members up to date with ICSN news, events, and other relevant information. This role requires strong writing, not necessarily, but I do say necessary because if you have to write down the description and the title, you do need some good writing skills. Do you know what I mean? This made me realize, oh, I've got some good writing skills. And if you need help in regards to figuring out the right type of um title for the show or whatever, just holler at me and I can help you here and there, innit? Get me? I may not be always available, but reach out to me and I will help you, innit? It's not that big deal. Um the role requires editing and communication skills as well as eye for detail and keen understanding of the ICSN community. So day-to-day activity, review and no, see again. Let me lay out the day-to-day responsibilities. So as someone who, they've got 5 minutes left. So with this podcast, the day-to-day responsibilities, you need to actually understand where we are within the week. All right, for ICSN in general, but also what's going on with the Igbo community as a whole. That's one thing. Yeah, so you need to keep up to date with the trends. Yeah, that is fundamental, and you've got to understand and know what ICSN members want to see and hear. All right, and also you've got to, like, one thing I will say is you've got to be able to have a situation where you can actually have time to yourself for a bit just to craft out a. In fact, I can give you a template, yeah, the template of the podcast, and just go via that. Let's go through that. It's easy. Do you see what I mean? Once you go have a template, it's easy to do, and you got to be able to like know how to edit as well. Don't get twisted. It's not complicated or hard to edit. It's not. It's just not. If you want me to go through a tutorial with you and know how I do it, then let me know and I will show you. It's not that big. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah. Um. So, and then one of the other things is you got to learn how to. Obviously, the thumbnail as well. Again, I will show you how using Canva. And that's pretty much it. Do you know what I mean? There's not really much to it when it comes to the podcast. I mean, obviously, yes, you do have to source out guests. Um, and you do also, but I do one thing I would recommend, which I didn't get to do because anyway, it doesn't matter. There's no excuses. But one thing I would recommend is staying in contact with the PR exec, yeah, so they can promote the podcast episode. So every time an episode is out or that you know it's gonna come out, let them know. Boom, this is the episode now. If you can, you know what I mean, get some marketing materials for it, so more people can watch. Do you know what I mean? It's things of that nature. But so it's being in contact with more or less everyone. And obviously, like I said, be in contact with the finance director. If you feel like it could go up a level in terms of settings and all that stuff there, like just let me know in it. Like I just feel like you have to put yourself in a position where when it comes down to the podcast itself being a Kwenu exec, yes. In fact, I also mentioned this as well. Like, and even I haven't done it myself, but I should have. Look, timing things of, you know. But like, what can I say? Like, you have to have time to go to go to as many ICSN events as possible. Go to as many IMO events as possible. Connect with many people as possible. The reason why I say that is because it allows you to create content which is good to or gives you information to be able to relay on the podcast. You get it? So anyway, that is me for this episode. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you watching. Let me know in the comment section below, like what roles you want to go for, what roles you feel like it's you. I hope it again. It's just look. And I know these roles may seem like they are a big deal. They are a big deal, but you got to remember at the same time, just have fun. You know what I mean? Have fun. Don't have fun. Get me? Like that's how I move. Like with this, especially with this, I'm having fun. So it's not a thing of obviously, yeah, take it serious. Don't get it twisted. Take it serious, but have fun. You see me, I'm serious, but also I'm having fun. Like I'm cracking joke. Like how am I doing a solo episode? I'm just cracking joke. You know what I'm saying? I'm cracking joke like I'm cracking Jacob's crackers or something. And I know I probably sound cheesy, but like, yeah, me. It is what it is. I'm smooth like butter. Anyway, that's me on this episode. So give me. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Um, yeah, man. I used to have a outro. What was the outro again? See, that's another thing. You have to have an outro, intro. What was the outro again? Like I can't remember what the outro is. Anyway, but anyway, yeah. I do my normal outro. Like I do on my. Anyway, yeah.